All right, get ready to dive into the world of coroners.
Coroners.
You're prepping for an interview, and we're going to unlock the secrets of this role where science meets justice.
Uncovering mysteries behind unexplained deaths.
A little CSI, but with a lot more real-world responsibility.
Definitely.
So to help us, we've got RoleCatcher's resources.
Career guides, interview prep, even AI.
We'll be using that as we go. But first,
Yeah.
what does a coroner do?
Well, a coroner is a legal authority tasked with investigating deaths
Okay.
to determine the cause and circumstances, especially in cases that are sudden, unexpected, or suspicious.
So detectives of the death world?
Kind of, yeah.
The RoleCatcher guide mentions it's not just about autopsies.
No.
Right.
Well, that is a key part.
Yeah.
Coroners also keep records of every death in their jurisdiction.
Wow.
They work with law enforcement, medical professionals,
That's a whole network.
a whole network of experts to ensure a thorough investigation.
So it's like piecing together a puzzle of how someone passed. We've got the big picture now. Let's dive into the interview.
All right.
RoleCatcher has given us some excellent sample questions. This first one's a classic. What inspired you to pursue a career in forensic pathology?
Why do you think interviewers ask that?
Well, I think they want to know your genuine interest and motivation.
Absolutely.
Is it a passion for the truth,
Right.
a fascination with the body, or a desire to help grieving families?
It's your chance to show them what drives you.
Yeah, and RoleCatcher provides a response that emphasizes the desire to apply scientific knowledge
Okay.
to real-life situations without getting too personal. How can our listener personalize that?
Well,
What sparked your interest?
what made you curious about this field?
Was it a book, a documentary, a case you read about?
Find that spark and use it.
And be ready for follow-up questions.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They might ask you to recall a specific moment.
That solidified your decision to go down this path.
Have a good anecdote to really show your commitment.
A memorable one.
Next is, how do you handle the emotional toll of dealing with death daily?
That's a tough one.
Heavy stuff.
Very heavy.
They need to know you can handle it.
Yes. Resilience, coping mechanisms.
Self-awareness.
They're looking for all of that.
RoleCatcher talks about healthy outlets,
Okay.
exercise, mindfulness, maybe even therapy.
Things like that.
It's not about pretending it doesn't affect you,
Right.
but showing that you have strategies to maintain your well-being.
Exactly.
They might go deeper.
Uh-huh.
Describe a time you felt overwhelmed by a case.
Okay.
How'd you deal with it?
Being prepared to discuss your approach.
Shows maturity and professionalism.
It does.
Now, for objectivity.
Yeah.
How do you maintain objectivity when dealing with sensitive or high-profile cases?
Oh, that's a core competency for sure.
They want assurance that you can set aside biases and focus on facts.
It's about upholding the integrity of the investigation.
Above all else.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide talks about compartmentalizing personal biases. What's that look like practically?
It's like being a judge. You have to impartially evaluate the evidence.
Regardless of feelings or external pressure?
Imagine a case involving someone you know.
Yeah.
Your ability to separate your personal connection.
From the professional task at hand.
That's crucial.
Great analogy.
Thanks.
So it's letting the evidence speak for itself.
Precisely.
But what about when your findings clash with other professionals?
Well, that brings us to our next question.
Okay.
How do you handle situations where your findings may conflict with other professionals or stakeholders?
This is about communication and conflict resolution.
Definitely.
It's a delicate dance between different perspectives.
It is.
RoleCatcher talks about a collaborative approach.
Okay.
Listening to others, explaining your reasoning,
Finding common ground.
when possible.
Right.
You'll be working with law enforcement, families, medical professionals.
A lot of different viewpoints.
This tests your ability to navigate those relationships.
While staying true to your findings?
Okay, let's get into the job. Can you walk us through your process for conducting a death investigation?
So here they're looking for your familiarity with the steps.
Your meticulous attention to detail.
And your ability to communicate a complex process.
Concisely and clearly.
Yes.
The sample response gives a solid framework.
Securing the scene.
Examining the body, evidence, interviews, and determining cause of death.
But how can you stand out?
That's where personal experience comes in.
Yeah.
They might follow up with, can you provide a specific example of a time you adapted your process based on unexpected findings?
Right.
So showcase flexibility and problem-solving skills.
Using real-life scenarios.
Adaptability. Okay, next question. How do you stay up to date with changes in forensic science and technology?
Oh, This is all about lifelong learning.
Absolutely. The field's always evolving.
Always.
So you need to show you're actively seeking out knowledge.
Not just waiting for it to come to you.
The sample response mentions conferences, journals, online forums.
Good stuff.
How can our listener impress even more? What about a recent development you've incorporated in your work?
Or eager to learn about.
They might ask you to talk about a specific advancement you've got your eye on.
I like that.
Showing you're not just learning, but applying new knowledge.
Sets you apart.
Shows you're at the forefront.
Yes.
How do you balance the needs of the deceased and their families with the demands of law enforcement and the justice system?
Oh, that's ethically complex.
Very much so.
You're often in between compassion and upholding the law.
So they are looking at your judgment, ethics, and ability to handle sensitive situations.
Grace and professionalism.
The response talks about approaching each case with empathy while sticking to guidelines.
What follow-up questions should they be ready for?
Maybe describe a situation where you had to deliver difficult news to a family while maintaining professional boundaries.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Conveying both empathy and objectivity in tough situations is so important.
It really is.
A good place to share a brief anonymized anecdote.
That highlights emotional intelligence and communication skills.
That human touch along with the science.
A delicate balance.
Okay, 2 more to go.
Let's do it.
How do you ensure that your work is accurate and reliable, and that you are following established protocols and guidelines?
This is about finding the right answers.
Accuracy is paramount.
It is.
So they want to see your attention to detail, commitment to quality.
And your understanding of procedures.
The sample response highlights documentation, double-checking, peer review.
It's all about that rigorous process.
How can our listener personalize this one?
Well, they might ask you to walk them through your quality control for a specific task.
Like an autopsy report.
Exactly.
Explain the steps you take to ensure accuracy.
Even the smallest details.
Meticulousness sets you apart.
For sure.
Last question. How do you stay organized and manage your workload effectively in a fast-paced environment?
Ah, a classic.
But especially relevant for coroners.
Dealing with time-sensitive cases.
They want to see your organizational skills, time management.
Prioritization.
Can you handle the heat and stay efficient?
Yeah.
The response talks about using technology, delegating.
Setting realistic deadlines.
That proactive approach.
I like it.
What follow-up questions here?
Well, they might ask you to describe a time when you had to juggle multiple urgent cases.
Okay.
How did you prioritize and make sure everything was done on time? A specific example shows your ability to work under pressure.
Stay calm amidst the chaos.
They'll be watching for signs of stress.
Burnout.
So be honest, but
Okay.
emphasize how you maintain a healthy work-life balance.
Show you can handle the intensity without being consumed by it.
That's important.
And that makes me think of the RoleCatcher Guide's emphasis on self-care.
Right.
They list tips and strategies for managing stress,
That's great.
because it is a demanding field,
It is.
but incredibly rewarding.
Making a difference in people's lives, helping families find closure.
A crucial part of the justice system.
It really is.
Speaking of rewarding, let's talk about career progression for a moment. The guide talks about 3 levels: entry, junior, and senior.
Right.
As you go up, your responsibilities grow.
From assisting with investigations to leading them.
You become the Sherlock Holmes of the coroner's office,
I love that.
taking on tougher cases.
Absolutely.
And with more responsibility comes the chance to specialize.
Yeah.
The guide mentions focusing on a specific area, like toxicology, or DNA, or going into a supervisory role.
Mentoring other coroners.
So many paths.
You're not stuck.
And the guide highlights continuous learning,
Conferences, certifications.
like certified death investigator or certified medical legal death investigator,
staying ahead of the curve.
demonstrating excellence.
Those certifications are a testament to your dedication.
Okay, before we wrap up this part, let's talk about RoleCatcher's AI tools. How can these help our listener prepare for this coroner interview?
This is where it gets exciting.
All those schools we discussed.
Right.
RoleCatcher's AI analyzes the job description for the specific coroner position.
It identifies the key skills they're looking for.
So instead of guessing, you get insights to tailor your resume and answers.
It's like a cheat sheet for the interview.
Exactly.
Like a co-pilot guiding you.
Highlighting what to emphasize.
And you can record yourself answering those interview questions.
Really?
The AI gives feedback on delivery, content,
Wow.
even your tone,
Like a personal coach,
right in your pocket.
helping you refine your responses and present confidently.
All tailored to the specific role.
Incredible.
It takes the guesswork out of prep and gives you an edge to succeed.
Amazing. You've got the knowledge, the practice questions, and then this AI fine-tuning that's amazing.
That's a game changer.
Let's look at some more insights from the career guides that didn't come up in the questions,
Okay.
like RoleCatcher highlighting those core skills.
Essential for success as a coroner.
It's not all just science, though, is it?
No.
There's some surprising skills in there,
There are.
like strong reading comprehension.
Yeah. Makes sense with all the reports.
Yeah, tons of those.
And active listening when you're interviewing witnesses.
And interacting with families.
And, of course, critical thinking.
For analyzing the evidence.
And drawing conclusions.
Let's not forget communication skills.
Very important.
You're talking to everyone. Law enforcement, medical professionals, grieving families.
You need to be able to explain complex things simply.
And with compassion.
It's fascinating how this role needs both the science and the human touch.
Yeah, you're dealing with data,
Yes.
evidence, but also emotions.
Sensitive situation.
This unique blend.
It is.
Speaking of connecting, back to the AI tools for a sec.
Okay.
We've talked about the job descriptions and feedback on answers.
Right.
Can they do anything else?
Oh, yeah. They can help you tailor your resume to highlight those specific skills and keywords employers want.
Like the core competencies we talked about?
RoleCatcher's AI can scan your resume and suggest improvements.
So you're making sure you're presenting yourself in the best light.
That's the idea.
So you're not just sending a generic resume.
No.
You're targeting it.
It's like a targeted document that speaks to the hiring manager.
That's so valuable.
It is.
Takes the guesswork out.
You're not just hoping to get noticed, you're increasing your chances.
Of landing the interview.
Exactly.
And once you do, the AI can help you ace it.
That's right.
Like a secret weapon.
Guiding you every step of the way.
But let's not forget the human element.
Right.
The AI is support and insights.
It's not replacing you.
You still have to be your authentic self in the interview.
Show your passion, your empathy, your experiences.
It enhances your prep. It doesn't replace you.
Exactly.
Find that balance between the tech and your human strengths.
Well said.
We've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have.
Understanding the coroner's role, mastering the interview questions.
Even using AI.
Any final thoughts?
Remember, it's a demanding field. Incredibly rewarding.
You're a vital part of the justice system.
Providing answers, helping families find closure.
It needs intellect, compassion, and a strong sense of purpose.
With the right prep and a little help from technology, you can excel.
Couldn't agree more. And before we go, I want to encourage our listener to check out RoleCatcher.
They have great resources for anyone job searching.
Whether it's becoming a coroner or any other path.
A wealth of info, tools, and support for your career goals.
So, listener, you've got the knowledge, the strategies.
And the AI.
Go out there and knock them dead.
Figuratively, of course.
Best of luck with the interview.
Yes, good luck.
And until next time, keep diving deep.
It really is a career where you can make a difference.
And that's what makes it so compelling. You know, it's not just a job, it's a calling.
Right.
So to our listener out there getting ready for that coroner interview, you've got this. You really do.
You do.
The knowledge, the strategies,
And don't forget...
and the AI from RoleCatcher.
Exactly.
Walk in there with confidence.
Confidence.
You've prepared for this.
You have.
And maybe you'll be the one cracking the next big case.
Bringing closure to families.
And making sure justice is served.
It's an incredible field full of challenges and rewards.
Absolutely.
Best of luck on your journey.
And remember, head to RoleCatcher.
Yes. Check them out.
For all those resources.
So helpful.
No matter what career path you're on.
Good luck, everybody.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.